Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
So we have another author. You know, I love authors. Everybody listens to a radio show. We have a couple of authors probably once a month that we have on our radio show. But this one, even in the whole title, you'll know what it's about. Laugh Yourself Happy in 30 Days. Who doesn't want to do that? So Marlene Warren is here, and she is the author. Good going, Marlene. I mean, I have never seen a title like that. And did the title take you a long time to think of, or did you write the book first?
No, I've had several titles. And that one struck me as telling you really what was in the book. So I chose that.
Well, I have to share with everybody, there's a lot of very good information, but almost, not every page, but almost every page, there's a joke. And jokes, and I don't think I heard any of these jokes before, so I am going to start using some of these jokes because I'm not a great joke teller, Marlene. I mean, apparently you are.
Yes, I think I am.
I gather that. But so many times I make speeches, and I know I'm supposed to start with a joke, and I always mess it up. And so I'm going to really study some of your jokes because they are funny.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad.
Okay. So tell me, before you wrote the book, what made you do this? What did you think about writing a book?
No, I was a teacher in New York City at the Bronx, and I kind of told jokes to the kids in my class, and I tried to make them feel good about themselves, and I really focused more on the fact that they were important and that they could accomplish something, and to ignore all the negative stuff that they had been told their entire lives. And when I came here, I had all this information, and I had so many things that I wanted to share with people, so I decided to write the book.
Well, when you say the reason you had the kids, a lot of people don't see kids apparently as you've seen them, because I read so many of your chapters, and you really were an inspiration to them. I can tell that. And I'll bet some of these kids today know who you are and communicate with you.
Oh, they do. Yes.
And thinking back, I'll bet you had a mother who just absolutely adored you.
She died when I was 6.
When you were 6,
yes.
But you still may have gotten that.
Well, she did adore me,
yeah.
Which made it much harder when she died because it left me with a void in my life. But I managed to make up for it.
Yeah, because someone has really loved you, and you can see that because of what you're sharing with other people. Okay, so Laugh Yourself Happy in 30 Days. And, of course, you had the laughing part, but you had the inspiration. And do you live this book yourself?
Yes, I do.
And you have this great husband, Steve.
Yes, and
you do this together.
And I try to do something that I enjoy doing every single day. I play bridge every single day. I read, which is what I love to do, and I make sure that I incorporate all the things I love in my life. So I'm never bored. I'm never without something to do. And I'm basically happy.
And so do you help your friends to see this? Now, of course, you have a book, and other people can read this who are not your friends, just the world. Did you have an influence on them?
Well, in the Bridge Club, they consider me their role model. Because somehow, no matter what happens to me, I'm able to laugh it off, laugh at myself, and get on with the important thing, which is living.
Yes, that's true. It's a big thing. So let's just take something that was really good. You had one thing I loved is you had assignments. I mean, it's like
yes,
in school.
Yes.
This is your assignment today. And what would be a good assignment for, let's say, for anybody that you don't even know them? What was your favorite assignment?
I think listing the things that you love to do and then making sure that you do at least one a day. Because it validates you. It makes you feel you deserve to be happy. And people, they don't know what to do with themselves. Somebody once said that the worst day of the week is Sunday, and that most suicides take place between 1 o'clock Sunday night and Monday morning, because Monday to Saturday, you know what you have to do. You either go to work or you're doing something that has been assigned to you. On Sunday, if you don't have family and friends, you don't know what to do with yourself. So I think it's very important to list the things in your life that are important and things that you like to do, and then do them, so that you're not left at odds. What am I going to do with Sunday? I'm never left at odds. I always have something to do on Sunday. I go to the theater. It's because I don't play bridge on Sunday, so I fill it up with other things, the movies, shows. I would go to a museum, a park, something that makes me feel good.
That's really magical. I'm glad that you're really sharing this with people, because there are people, though, would read it and say, yeah, but I've had such bad things happen in my life. How can I be happy? How do you respond to that?
Well, you want to talk about bad things in my life? I'll do it very quickly. My mother died when I was 6. My father died when I was 16. My daughter passed away 2 years ago of acute leukemia. Nobody knew she was sick, including her. She went to the hospital in the emergency room, and 3 hours later she was gone. So that was a terrible blow. I have 2 other wonderful, wonderful children that I absolutely adore. But my daughter, who passed away, was sexually molested from the time she was 10 years old by a 70-year-old pervert that lived in our building, and we didn't know about it. She felt guilty because she took quarters from him, so she felt she was complicit. So she never told anybody until about 20 years later, when he was long dead, and a psychologist said to her, you know, Flynn, you ought to tell your parents. And she did, but it affected her life in very unusual ways. She actually wound up marrying a drug addict, and he wanted a detox in our back bedroom, and I knew nothing about addiction, detoxing, and I was really quite scared of the idea. So I got him into a rehab center in Boca Raton, as a matter of fact, a very good one, and he left after a day. But anyway, that's
right. Well,
another
I
story.
can see where you're going. I mean, there are a lot of very serious things in your life which some other people may not have recovered from, but you have a philosophy, and I'm hearing this.
Actually, I've had 3 bouts of breast cancer. I now have bladder cancer. I've had 2 open heart surgeries. I've had a stroke. I've had diabetes. I have diabetes, and somehow I'm telling you the truth, I managed to laugh at it all.
And, you know, I have to say this, dealing with a lot of physicians, that your attitude is the best medicine. They couldn't prescribe anything better. And you somehow, if only you could bottle what you have, that would really be great.
You know something? My other daughter, has had ovarian cancer twice. So I really am filled with terrible things that have happened. But I don't dwell on any of them. And I wrote a paper for my bridge buddies. It was called Going to My Happy Place. And I think everybody should have a happy place. Some place that you can retreat to when things become almost unbearable. You can go to your happy place, and it reaffirms who you are, and that the most important thing is to love yourself and other people and to live. I mean, if you shrink back, you stop living. And who wants to stop living while you're still alive?
I love the happy place. I'm really thinking about, okay, what can I do with that happy place idea? Maybe we have to build little things like they had the pet rock. Maybe we have to have a happy place that people can carry with them, and they just go somewhere and take their little happy place with them.
That's true.
You're a marvel. This is absolutely. I know I did read a little bit about you, but your book was so inspirational. But little did I know just how inspirational it is. So let's go over. Let's go over into a joke. You knew I'd have to do this. What is your Of all the jokes, how many jokes are there in here, by the way?
I don't know, a lot of them. One of my favorite jokes is the joke of the old man who has a heart condition and insists on getting Viagra from the doctor, and the doctor says, I hate giving it to you. I'm afraid, your heart's not good. And he says, oh, you got to give it to me. My wife wants it. You have to give it to me. So he breaks down and he says, listen, I'll give it to you on one condition. You take it exactly the way I specify. One day you take it, the next day you skip. Next day you take it, the next day you skip. And a week later, the wife calls and says, "Doctor, my husband died." And the doctor says, "Oh, my goodness, you think it was the Viagra?" And the wife says, "No, doctor, I think it was the skipping." Now, I really think that's a funny joke.
Very funny. Well, and your jokes are short, which are cute because you can get through them. Some of them are a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but
some of them are.
So, how did this all come about jokes with you? Did you used to watch all the comedians on television?
No, as a matter of fact, I was able to remember them. So if I heard a joke, I was able to tell it to people, and they laughed. And I thought, gee, that's great. I'm sharing whatever the joke was, and I'm making other people happy. So I started, remembering them in my head. And I get great pleasure out of telling people jokes. Last night, I told a joke I went to see Shelley Isaacs has a foreign film program at the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center. So last night, I managed to tell a joke, and the woman next to me who read my book said to me, "That's not your best joke." I said, "No." I said, "But you laughed."
That's right. Oh, of course, everybody's going to have their best joke, but I know this one was cute, too. I do remember this. Do infants enjoy infancy as much as adults enjoy adultery?
Yes.
I mean, and you were able. Now that was something you heard somewhere.
Yeah, I read it on people send me, emails that are filled with jokes and cute sayings, and I remember them.
So, of all the comedians, who was your favorite?
Oh God, years and years ago, I would say it was a toss between Woody Allen and Bob Newhart, and they didn't only tell jokes; they told a story that was funny. On TV, I really like Jerry Seinfeld, and he didn't tell jokes either. And my husband, years ago, he's lost some of his enthusiasm. He was a funny man. He didn't tell jokes. I tell jokes. I'm not naturally funny, but I tell jokes well. And these people didn't actually tell jokes, like Henny Youngman. I have a few of his jokes in my book. I thought some of his jokes were very funny.
Well, for me, and I was watching some of the old movies and TV shows, Jack Benny. I just loved Jack Benny. I mean, it was the whole style of who he was.
Yes.
And people like that. So I think everybody probably has a favorite. Now, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with your jokes because I'm thinking about after we've reviewed your book, months go by, I may ask permission and I'll attribute it to you, to put a joke or two in there.
Of course.
Because people, it's a light thing. Just like you said, maybe someone's had a very bad day with something. And they could read the book. They can read the little joke and say, that is pretty funny. But more importantly, Marlene, is what you've accomplished. You've accomplished something under very difficult odds. And that's what is so impressive for me to meet you. And to hear how you're able to have that happy place.
Yes, very important.
So there are a lot of people who I always say they live under a black cloud. Always. Something always happens to them that has a black cloud there. And other people, like you, they live in the sunshine.
Well, I think psychologists have said that resiliency is a genetic inheritance. That, because I know that depression runs in families. Your mother's depressed, your children are depressed. It's something that I don't know whether it's learned, but I really think it's probably genetic. Because people who are depressed really don't want to be, and they try very hard to overcome it, and sometimes they can't. But I find that, I used to say this, which makes people laugh. I used to say that all the great books in the world generally have unhappy endings, and that the reason for that is that everybody knows what unhappiness is. You've experienced it, so you can relate to it. Happiness is much more elusive. Not everybody gets that opportunity to say, "Oh, I know what that feels like," because they really don't. That the sadness in their life kind of overtakes them, and so I really do think that that's why masters write these great books, and they try to give people a connection.
I want happy books. I like happy books.
Me
but
too. I like happy movies. I buy them.
Me too.
I see them. They make me feel good. I buy them and I play them whenever whenever I want to get into my happy place. I play a movie.
I definitely agree with you, Marlene. It's just perfect. I see you have a lot of testimonials on the back, and people have said then, I'm happier because I read your book.
Yes.
And it is true. So you go through every day. You have your assignments, self-discovery, reach out a hand and touch someone. I mean, all these things you just feel in your heart, and you're trying to share it. Let me tell everybody, we're talking with Marlene Warren, and her book is Laugh Yourself Happy in 30 Days. And I want you to get the book. I really urge you to get the book. And I know that you can. I don't think you can actually get this on Amazon.
It's not there yet.
No, it's not there yet, but it will be. We will be featuring in our November issue this. I did a review of the book, and you'll see pretty face of Marlene Warren, and I think you're going to enjoy the book a lot. In fact, we have a lot of holidays coming up. Imagine if you bought this book for someone you loved or for yourself first, but then buy it for someone you love, and it would be amazing to think that you made that person now have a happy place.
Yes. By the way, my daughter has suggested that if people are interested, they could write to my email, and I would send them the book.
Oh, okay. Email. And how much does the book cost?
It's $20.
$20, and your email address, and I see one here, but it's a little bit long. It's hard to do this on radio. So you do have a Facebook page.
No, but
You don't have that. Okay, why don't we do this? If you want to buy this book, why don't you get in touch with us at our office? And then we will go. I don't usually do this for people, but I'm going to do it because I really want people to buy this book. So everybody knows you can call us at our office, which is 561-864-1101, or you can email me at srlife@gate.net. SR for senior, srlife@gate.net. When you come to Cure, I think you should bring some of your books.
Okay.
And then maybe we can, get to sell some of those books there, because even though we're going to feature your book at our expos, which will be one in January, I still think it's special. And I don't usually promote people's books at the Cure, but I think this is what the Tao, I told you we're going to have a monk, Unro, and he is a Tao philosopher. That's what I call it, Tao. And I think when I hear him, I'll bet a lot of this is what he's going to talk about.
Oh, that's very
Wouldn't
possible.
you think?
Yes.
Yes, because I haven't really asked him. The other thing I want to ask you is, this is a painting. Your book cover is a painting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You know something interesting? Years ago, I gave the book to somebody in the Bridge Club to read, and I didn't know she was an artist. And the next thing I know, she comes in and she hands me a painting. And I said to her, oh, my God, that really captures it. I'm in love with the color orange. And that is really a supermoon, which, by the way, November 14th is the supermoon. It's going to be the largest moon ever in 48 years. And I've made a party. I have a party. I invited a bunch of people to come to see it. I did it once before, and it rained, and we saw nothing. And I had carried on about this moon, and everybody was disappointed. And I'm hoping that this time the moon will come out.
It's going to be an orange moon.
It's an orange ball that I live on the ocean that comes out of the ocean. It's just magnificent.
November the 14th.
Yes, November 14th, Monday night.
Wow. That's interesting. Just to throw in something, my husband is many things, but he is a writer also, and he's an author of a book that's probably almost going to get sent to a publisher. And it's called Saving the Moon.
Oh,
it's quite a novel. It's a little bit science fiction, but it's really great. And of course, the moon represents so many things to so many people.
Yes.
And so this is really very special, though. Okay, so now we know about the moon in the cover. So she must be thrilled that you you give her. I don't know if you gave her.
I do.
Let's see if I see anything there. The credit for that. I don't see it here. My artist, Evelyn Wog. Many thanks for painting the cover.
And she is an artist she paints figures in motion. She's very unusual work. And she's been in galleries, and in Aventura in the Gulf Stream, It's not Aventura, it's actually Hallandale. In the Scher Gallery, she has many paintings hanging, and she's done a show in Wynwood, and she's done a few shows abroad.
My goodness.
She's really, and this was like, I think, one of the first things she ever did.
But you see, it's because you bring out the best in people.
Well,
I can see that.
I can't take credit for Evelyn.
No, I don't mean that. But when she heard, I guess you gave her just a written manuscript.
Yes,
That's what you were giving everyone. And then she said, well, and maybe...
And when I saw it, I couldn't believe it because it was so perfect.
Well, let's give you the name again.
And you know why it was also perfect? You see, because one of the exercises I have in the book is, are you a daisy or a rose?
Oh, right.
And I'm a daisy, and that's why she put the daisies on the moon.
And my middle name is Rose.
Oh.
So that's very funny. But no, it's beautifully done. I must say I was very impressed. So what we're going to do again is, let me tell you, if you would like to buy the book, and you said it was $25.
No, it's 20.
20. Oh, I just reduced the price for you. It was 25. We reduced this for I'm kidding.
No.
So $20, and you can send, you can just, if you want us to send it to you, we'll get in touch with Marlene and she can deal with it. You can just call us. Our phone number again is 561-864-1101. And our email is srlife@gate.net. Now, you will be able to hear this or see it actually on YouTube. So when we get this recording done, it's not in motion, but it'll be your picture and it'll be the whole interview on there. So maybe you can get some of your friends down there to buy your book. I'm sure you've given a lot of the books away. You haven't probably sold that. I know. I can see your
But
type
I've
of
also
person.
sold a lot of books.
Yeah, you should sell them. I know, but I know you're like, yeah, you like my book? Okay, here, take my book. But this is great. Well, let me go back to you. We went pretty fast about your health. So you have really had a lot of medical experiences.
Oh, yes, yes.
And I'll bet you really make the doctors very happy because they don't have to, doctors, I've spoken to them, it's sad for them to see patients who are having serious problems, but sounds like you have encouraged the doctor to...
I really think that I'm an enigma to my cardiologist. He keeps saying to me, you're a very complicated case, but I'm always upbeat, and I rarely ever complain. In fact, I must tell you, I had a dinner party last year at Christmas time for a sit-down dinner for 27 people. I have a small apartment, but my kids came in from California.
So where'd you get the china and the silverware?
No, we use paper stuff.
Okay.
I had no help. I just throw it away
27,
afterwards.
Okay.
So, and what happened is that I had a doctor's appointment 2 days afterwards, and the doctor said to me, he said, you had a heart attack, and I think you're having another one. And I said to him, my God, that must have been why I was so tired, but I was under chemo. So I thought the chemo made me tired and nauseous, so the heart attack hardly mattered. But he said to me, I don't believe it. He says, I think you're having one now. I want you to go immediately to the emergency room. And I did, and it was nothing really. It was they put a stent in my arm. Now, I've had 2 open heart surgeries, so this was really nothing.
I'm sitting here with my mouth open. People can't see me. They're not going to see me on the show, but they can hear me. How does your husband handle all this? Well, yeah, but I'm talking to you. So how does he handle all this?
Well, I'll tell you, the first time I had cancer, we had a very unusual situation. We went to a very excellent, reputable doctor at Harkness Pavilion in New York. And I had gone there, and he checked me out, and he said to me, oh, I must tell you, because this relates to something else. Jack Canfield is noted for his chicken soup books, and I went to a seminar. My school sent me to a self-esteem seminar in California, and they talked about, in California, it's very huggy and very touchy, and that you meditate. And I came home, and I was sitting on my bed, and I tried to meditate, but I couldn't clear my head. But my hand went to my breast and found the lump. So I called up, and I went to see this doctor, and he said to me, he said, women get too many biopsies. I don't think this is important. But he said, I have a team. that'll look at the pictures and they'll make the decision.
Use the ultrasound, which is not invasive.
No, he didn't do anything. He just said, we'll look at the pictures. And the next time that he looked at the pictures with his guys, and they said they think it might be worth doing a biopsy. So we go to the hospital, and he invites my husband into the biopsy. So he thinks it's a needle biopsy. Big deal. They're going to stick a needle. But he's not doing that. He's cutting slices. And with every cut, he says, oh, God, it's beautiful. It's clean. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's clean. And then he stops talking. And, of course, then we knew that it was cancer and he had found it. I would never have just walked away. I would have assumed everybody in my family had breast cancer. I would never just take. In other words, if he said it's nothing, I would have to go to another doctor because I knew that I had breast cancer and I needed a doctor to confirm it so they could remove it. But he took that very badly. He almost passed out in there. I'm the one that was getting cut.
I would think so.
And he's the one that's practically on the floor. The nurse was attending to him, not me, because he was so upset. But once and it was triple negative breast cancer, and once I was able to, the chemo was nothing. Nothing was anything. I was fine. I had a lumpectomy. I had chemo, radiation. I was fine. He kind of accepted the fact that nothing's going to defeat me or affect me in any way that's going to change my life.
Sounds like he was a good husband, though, to take care of you with all this.
Oh,
and needs somebody who loves you and supports you and is there. Does. And that's really important.
And he drives me because the first time I had open heart surgery, I had a stroke while I was on the table, and I lost my left peripheral vision.
For a little while.
No, forever.
You don't have
brain
left
damage.
peripheral.
No, can I tell you a funny story about that?
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
We went to the Yosemite. My son sculpts. If it's too late,
you know what we're going to do? Okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I think we're going to save this for the next time you come on our radio show.
Okay.
And we may have you on again and again. You are a wonderful guest. And my guest is Marlene Warren. See how quickly it went?
Yes.
Marlene Warren, and the book is Laugh Yourself Happy in 30 Days. I hope that you will buy it. You will be able to see the review in our November issue in Boomer Times. And our number to call our office is 561-864-1101.
Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure, Marlene, to know you.
You're a charming woman.
This is going to go on and on. Thank you so much.